Hey guys, today we celebrate the feast of the presentation of the Lord. And in today's gospel, Luke tells us that Mary and Joseph bring the infant Jesus to the temple to fulfill the Mosaic law, the law of purification, and the consecration of the firstborn. There, Jesus is recognized as the Messiah by two holy witnesses, Simeon and Anna. Simeon, guided by the Holy Spirit, takes the child into his arms and proclaims Jesus, a light for revelation to the Gentiles and glory for your people Israel. And Anna, a prophetess who never left the temple, speaks of the child to all who are awaiting the redemption of Jerusalem. What stands out immediately is obedience and humility. Mary and Joseph were not bound by the law, yet they submitted themselves to it anyway. They placed their son into the hands of the Father. The Mosaic law taught that every firstborn male belonged to God. This was a memorial of the Exodus when God spared the firstborn of Israel. And here, in the temple, we see something amazing. Jesus, the only begotten Son of the Father, is presented and consecrated to God. Our true high priest enters his Father's house. This mystery has always drawn me in, especially when prayed alongside the next joyful mystery, the finding of Jesus in the temple. First, Jesus is presented in the temple as a child consecrated to the Father. And then years later, Mary and Joseph are searching for Jesus only to find him teaching in the temple. And Jesus says these words that echo through all of salvation history. Did you not know that I must be in my Father's house? You see, he was never lost. He was always where he belonged. And that brings me back to today's feast. As I reflect on the presentation of the Lord, the question that grips my heart is this: how do I allow the Lord to enter the temple of my own heart? How do I allow the light of revelation to pierce my soul? I remember praying this joyful mystery of the Rosary early in my Catholic journey. And it was during that decade I was given a powerful image in prayer. I saw Mary presenting me to her son, just as she once presented him in the temple. And then the image shifted. I saw the Mass. I saw myself receiving the Eucharist, and I realized something profound. Just as Jesus was once presented in the temple, he is now presented to us on the altar. From the tabernacles of our churches, Christ desires to enter the temples of our hearts. And we find in our second reading today from Hebrews, St. Paul reminds us that Jesus became like his brother and sisters in every way, that he might be a merciful and faithful high priest before God to expiate the sins of the people. What a beautiful priestly service, a God who humbles himself to be received. But the invitation doesn't end there. Like Simeon, we are called to recognize him. Like Anna, we are called to run and tell others about him. Today, the light of the world is presented to us, waiting, offering himself. The question is simple and deeply personal. Will we open our hearts to receive him today?